try, at least where we're standing. You guys, unfortunately, had to miss halftime in the third quarter because we got stuck in the middle of a torrential downpour here in McKinney. What you missed was, obviously, the halftime show, which we apologize for. I promise it's not a conspiracy. We didn't intentionally miss the halftime. You also missed the third quarter, in which the Lobos got the only score of the quarter. They had a 14-play, 75-yard drive. Taylor Tatum went in from 5 yards away. The score is 28-10. Longview is driving again as we've just started the fourth quarter. 11:57 left to play in quarter number 4, and we're really at a disadvantage now because we're coming to you where we cannot hardly see a clock at all. So we're going to make the best of it. It's second down for
Broncos.
Actually, first down for the Broncos. They took it over on a change of downs, and on first down, it's a handoff inside to King for just a couple of yards. Chuck, Zach, and Tony Kirk with you. If something weird doesn't happen, then it's not Longview game day. That's all we're going to say. So it's second down and 8 after the couple-yard gain.
Yeah, the drive you missed was a whole lot of Taylor Tatum. He just kind of ground chucked it down the field, and they just ate up most of the fourth quarter on that drive.
All right, so it's a second down. We got second down in about 6. Shackleton, the quarterback, handing off to King. He's sweeping left and will be outside the 20 to about the 22, maybe the 23-yard line, where it's going to bring up third down.
The rain has mostly stopped. Obviously, conditions are very wet. It rained solid for about 30 minutes, blowing rain. Commend both bands. They both did their full performances in a blowing rain tonight. I hate that you guys missed that, but we had too much expensive equipment exposed to the elements. We had to break down and get into a dry area to bring you the rest of this ball game.
Including your broadcasters.
Yeah, most importantly.
We don't want to get them wet. They'll melt like sugar. But anyway, here we go. It's third down now for the McKinney-Boyd Broncos. Shackleton, little quarterback keeper here, design look and play. He's going to go out of bounds at around the 31-yard line. Where he's out of bounds, and we'll check where they are on the down.
Yeah, we're calling this from a monitor inside, so we cannot see down markers, we cannot see a clock, and so we're going to provide you as best coverage as we can under these circumstances while trying to maintain the quality of broadcast. We've got one poor cameraman out there in what's misting rain right now.
Well, we drew straws. And he got the short one.
Yeah.
So he's outside, and if there happens to be rain again, then it was nice knowing him because he'll probably be gone.
Obviously, we've got a penalty call on the play. It's going to be a first down.
Actually, they were measuring, I think.
Did they?
Yeah, they were measuring. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they were measuring at the 30-yard line. And, excuse me, you were right. They did tack on some extra yardage. And it looks like we got a little crowd mic, too, now. Slowly but surely, we're going to get this thing back up to where it's supposed to be, although one of our cameramen's having a little trouble staying focused. So it's up at the 40-yard line.
Hey, he's doing a great job. He's out there in what is a little bit of mist left in the atmosphere.
The score again, 28-10. Lobos had a 21-10 halftime lead. They came out in the third quarter. Their singular first drive, they went down the field, the length of the field, 75 yards, 14 plays. Taylor Tatum with his second score of the evening from 5 yards away. He's got 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hale's got 2 touchdowns. The Stars have come out for the Lobos tonight, and you can't leave out the passing of Jordan Allen. He's 15 of 21, 207 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So add all that together. It's been a very convincing Lobo evening so far. 7 catches, Jalen Hale, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Taylor Tatum, 15 carries, 87 yards and 2 touchdowns as well. So the big 3 has put up big numbers. And it's first down for the Broncos. A little bit of a delay as they're getting things reset out on the field.
So they're ball on the 40-yard line.
And we remind you we're back at the friendly confines next week. We'll be back at Lobo Stadium. Marshall Mavericks coming in. Why not renew the old rivalry? Hopefully we'll get an inside spot in the press box. We're back to it. Shackleton back to pass. He's in trouble. Flushed out. Throws on the run. And that ball is incomplete down around the 37-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 10.
We really didn't talk about Tatum's touchdown from the 5-yard line. A little bit controversial. It appeared to come out about the time he was entering the end zone. We got another timeout on the field, but the officials had to get together after the fumble and determined that Tatum had indeed gotten into the end zone with the ball still in his possession. But the Boyd faithful did not like the call. The Longview folks who traveled here this evening were ecstatic about it.
All right, so incomplete pass, second down. They're back to live action. King on the handoff, yard gain. It'll bring up third down and 9 now for McKinney Boyd as the clock is down inside the 10-minute mark.
The Longview defense has been steady tonight. They gave up a touchdown on a short field. It was the only touchdown they surrendered tonight in the first half on a mishandled punt by the Lobos in the first half.
All right, so it's third down and 9. Ball's at the 41-yard line. Shackleton back to pass. He's looking to his left, toss over there, a little wide for the intended target. He was going for his wide receiver. That's Caleb Hensley. And it's incomplete, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Looks like the punting unit's going to trot onto the field.
Talk about the success of the Lobos offense. Ryan Shackleton, 6 of 13 tonight for 114 yards. Sheldon King, their leading rusher, at least that was the thought coming into the season, 12 carries, 28 yards. And nobody's got more than 2 catches for Boyd tonight. Sheldon King's got 2 for 16 yards. That's a stifled offense. And if not for one muffed punt in the first quarter or second quarter, there may not be a touchdown on the board for Boyd. This punt gathered in with a fair catch by Willie Nelson at around the 30-yard line. So the Lobos will take over with about 9 minutes left here in the fourth quarter.
Willie, I think, decided it was going to be a fair catch after mishandling the one. I'll tell you what, during our time we were away, Jacavian Curry had an outstanding punt return of over 20 yards to set up a short field for the Lobos. They didn't take advantage of it, but were able to run some more clock off.
All right, so here we go. First down and 10 Lobos. We have gotten a chance in the third quarter to see some of Brandavion Steverson, who's gotten a chance to get in the game. First down now at the 28-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Looks like Elijah Johnson back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. And it's going to bring up second down and 10.
You expect the offense to be pretty plain vanilla from here on out. Just want to run the clock out right now. If you're John King, you don't want to get anybody hurt. You just want to get in here, get your victory, and get back on the road to East Texas.
Actually, it was Taylor Tatum on the carry. Again, we are looking from a monitor that's about the size of, I don't know, maybe a 5x7 file card. Yeah.
Some of you at home probably have bigger cell phones you're watching this game on than the screen we're looking at on this monitor right now. But we're going to bring it to you as best we can.
But please don't brag about it. All right.
Yeah.
On the second down, kept by Allen. He's going to go across the 40 as he piles into a defender at the 41-yard line. Gain of 13 and a first down for the Lobos.
Yeah, you've already mentioned since we came back on the air, so far tonight, the real story, even though Tatum and Hale each have a couple of touchdowns, has been the play of number 12. He's just been outstanding tonight. He's showing some different wrinkles to his game. And you mentioned the first half he's bulked up, and it just shows really in all facets of his game tonight.
Yep. For those who last year didn't believe, and I could see why you didn't sometimes, you should this year. Pitch to Tatum on first down. 50, 40, 30. You're not going to catch Taylor Tatum all the way to the end zone. His third score of the night. This one from 59 yards away, and the Lobos go up 34-10.
And you can correct me here. I don't remember them pitching the ball to Tatum all night. That's what you expect to see out of I-backs is the pitch. But he's made his living between the tackles tonight, and he took that pitch and was pretty much untouched all the way to the end zone.
It comes with 8:06 left to play in the game. Lobos now stretch it to a 24-point lead, and the point after will make it be a 4-score game. And we'll take a break after the point after. Michael Fields coming on for another try. He's 4 for 4 so far tonight. And we got problems with the snap to hold. They'll try to throw toward it instead, and it's picked and go in the other direction, but it will not result in any points. And that's where the drive comes to an end. So we'll take the break. 34-10 our score. You're listening and watching Longview Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
All right, it's a 3-play, 72-yard drive capped off by the Taylor Tatum 59-yard touchdown run. We can put some gaudy numbers up for Taylor Tatum now. 17 carries, 146 yards on this opening night. Last season, he ran for 782 on 100 carries with 10 touchdowns, and he wasn't healthy for a big chunk of the year. They were extremely fortunate last year to have the services of Jarrett Lewis, who really picked up the slack when he was out. Well, Jarrett's gone now, and this is Taylor's opportunity as a junior to really impress those college folks who already are impressed with even a little bit more on the resume.
Tell you what, the most impressive thing on the long run there on the touchdown was he just ran away from the pack. A couple of guys looked like they might have an angle on him. They never got close.
All right, Fields kickoff now. This one a little shorter. It will take a bounce and go out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Probably end up on the 35 here.
Indeed, I would think they're not going to make him re-kick it. Doesn't look like it, so it'll be McKinney-Boyd football there. McKinney-Boyd next week gets a chance to try to get off the losers column. Byron Nelson, they actually have a Thursday night game, the first of 3 Thursday night games for the Broncos this season. They got Plano West, and then they go to Allen. So that's their next 3 weeks. For the Lobos, it's home against Marshall, at Tyler Legacy, and at Lufkin. So we get one home game in the opening 4.
Well, I was wrong. They decided to make them, looks like, kick it again.
Oh, well, why wouldn't you?
So they'll push them back 5 yards and have them kick the football again. For those of you not from the Metroplex or familiar with the Metroplex, Byron Nelson is a high school out towards Trophy Club about 10 miles out of Justin, if you're familiar with I-35 West over on that side of the Metroplex.
Lobos offensively, 23 first downs. They've run for 214. They've passed for 207. I'm not great at math, but that's 421 in a very balanced attack. McKinney-Boyd, 7 first downs, 50 yards rushing, 114 passing. That's 164 yards of total offense. So over 400 for the Lobos, less than 170 for the Broncos tonight.
Mind you, first-year coach, first ball game, wants to use his autonomy. Here's when you just cross your fingers. A lot of injuries happen on these change possession plays, these kickoffs and punts and things like that. So you just hope nobody gets hurt here as coach decides to make them kick it deep.
All right, so they'll do it again. Michael Fields will
take it on about the 5-yard line there, and it does not work out.
Yeah, I don't get the logic behind it, first of all, and second of all, it obviously didn't pay off.
Yeah, they gave up 20 yards of field position by Coach Foster's decision to make them kick it again. They've done a good job all night long covering kicks when Fields has gotten his full leg into it, so a little surprising there, but hey, that may be the coach saying if we could get a big play, maybe we could resurrect this team with about 8 minutes to go.
It looks like it's the 16-yard line where McKinney-Boyd's going to start. I'm going to go through some of the Lobo defensive starters for those who may have either not been with us at the beginning or missed the feed. We'll do that after Shackleton's pass. Ryan Shackleton incomplete as he was going far sideline. Billy Smith, Omarion Watkins, and Zarius Shepard got most of the play, although Jordan Wright has been in there at defensive end as well. Jeremiah Rugeley, Caden Brooks, Datarian Boone, and Chase Smith, the linebackers. J.K. Curry and Jaden Simmons are the corners. Buda Garrett and Willie Nelson are the safeties for the top-ranked 5A Division I Lobos.
We remind you of fighting up in weight class tonight against the 6A ball club.
2nd down and 10. Ryan Shackleton, the senior quarterback. Back to pass. Fakes once, now lobs one up, and that's out of bounds into the Lobo bench area. It'll make it 3rd down and 10.
That's number 9, Jaden Simmons, over there. And we saw Jaden play a lot last year. He was one of the 2 sophomore corners starting. Since then, Willie Nelson has gone to the safety position. Motion called on the Broncos. So
I think they'll probably pick that flag up, wouldn't they? Should make it 3rd down and 10.
You would think. We'll see.
Of course, we saw Coach Foster ask for a second kickoff, and we never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Frank telling us we got a view of the clock now. And like I said, we appreciate the entire game day staff. They have scrambled tonight, weathered the storm literally.
Yeah.
As we got, right as the half was beginning, we got hit with a deluge of blowing wind, and equipment was in peril.
Yeah.
But all hands got on deck and saved the equipment and moved us indoors to a dry spot, and as quickly as they could got us back on the air.
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, it's 3rd down, and I'm not thinking they're going to move them backward. I don't know why this is such a long conversation. Well, they're actually marking it off 10, so it wasn't just a motion penalty. It looks like it may have been a holding penalty.
We'll go half the distance to the go.
Yeah, they put it down at the 10.
Yeah, they would just mark 5. I think it was a motion.
I don't get it. Must have been pre-snap. That must have been what we had. All right, so we got the 5-yard penalty. We'll try it again. 2nd down and 15 now for McKinney Boyd. Shackleton, a little quarterback draw again. He's done this a couple times, and he's taken some hits, and this time he's not going to get back to the 10-yard line. He's dropped back at about the 6-yard line. It's Jordan Wright, 65 over there, is first one around him, and I think also in there is Arius Shepard. So it'll bring up 3rd down and about 18 now.
Looks like the Lobos will probably get after here. We've talked a couple times tonight. They've run some screens and draws to try to withstand it when the Lobos really get after them. Lobos not big on the defensive line, but very quick, and particularly on passing downs.
All right, so back at the 8, 3rd down. Shackleton trying to throw a little screen. That's King that's got it, and he'll be bumped out of bounds shy of the 20-yard line. And 4th down's coming up for McKinney Boyd.
A good job that time by Jaden Simmons coming off his corner position, coming off his receiver, and making a play on King.
3rd catch for King this afternoon, but he could not pick up the 18 they needed on 3rd down, so they'll be punting. Clock stops at the 7-minute mark exactly.
Be interesting to see if Coach King brings his starting offense back out.
Willie Nelson back deep.
Follow along with number 18, Curry's back there with him.
Yep, Jason Hoyle, the punter. Whoa! High snap over the top and out of the back of the end zone, and the Lobos get a couple of free ones on special teams. And it's 36-10 on the safety on the high snap for the punt attempts. They get a free kick coming.
Free kick from the 20 will follow. So Lobos get the 2 points. Looks like we're going to keep it here. Just keep going with it.
We will. All right. So 36-10 the score. Lobos jumped out early. They had an 81-yard or 82-yard pass play on the first series that they had the football after an interception by J.K. Curry. And Jalen Hale catches the first touchdown of the season from Jordan Allen, 81 yards. They'll come back and get another one from 11 yards away. As the Lobos got out to a 14-3 first quarter lead. Got shaved down to 14-10 on a 10-yard run by Sheldon King after the muff punt. And the Lobos would finish out the first half with a Taylor Tatum touchdown run, the first of 3 for him tonight.
Yeah, I misspoke earlier. I said Curry was playing safety opposite Will Nelson. He's actually moved into Willie's corner position, and he's been pretty stellar tonight. A nice opening night for Curry as he shows you number 18 is going to be talked about quite a bit this year.
All right, so it'll be free kick time.
Now, I don't get to be with you next week. I'm a little jealous.
Sadness.
Well, I've got to go to New York for a wedding. But
that's sad, too.
That's not sad.
To New York City?
I fly into the city, but I've got to go up to upstate for the wedding on Saturday night. But you guys will be in good hands. Chuck will be here. And who you got on with you next
Keaton's
week?
Coming on.
All right, Keaton's going to be on with you next week.
Yep, so we'll be bringing you Marshall Mavericks, Longview Lobo renewal of the rivalry from Lobo Stadium next week.
Your attention, please. We need Moose Can Con to go to the
All right, free kick time.
Moose Can Con.
They choose not to use the tee. They're going to have the punter kick it.
That's Jason Hoyle. His kick comes down to about the 35-yard line, taken across the 50 to the 45-yard line by the Lobos.
Yeah, that wasn't Willie that time. I didn't get the number on that young man. But either way, that's at 39.
I believe that may be 35.
35.
There we go. We get finally a clean view at 35.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Lee. We want to give him his moment of glory there. And
Lee, the backup tailback, although he hasn't gotten a carry tonight.
Yeah, it looks like we got a sideline warning over on the McKinney Boyd bench.
All right, so Lobos will take over on the McKinney side of the field. They're on the 42-yard line.
15 yards on return.
Tell you what, one of the most valuable players of the night is the Boyd student section, who never left during the rain.
No.
Stayed and cheered on 2 band performances during a pouring rain and never left their seats. I say seats, they were standing the whole time.
All right, first down. Well, they're going to mark him at the 50. They marked him back to the 50-yard line. So first down at the 50, first down handoff and nothing doing. It'll be second down and 11. Yard loss on the first carry, and that was Mr. Lee, who just had the free kick return. Jonathan Lee gets his first carry, the 5'8", 165-pound junior.
Yeah, we were curious who we'd still see in the ball game. We are not seeing Taylor Tatum in at this time. His night is probably over, and it's, as you've already mentioned, statistically an excellent opening night for him.
All right, so second down and 11 after the 1-yard loss.
They're in that deep I formation.
Which is going to lead to a handoff. Lee again, nice move at the 50-yard line. He's going to get inside the 45 and scorch his way down to about the 43-yard line for an 8-yard gain.
You kind of get a sense that Jonathan Lee is one of those players that's going to take full advantage of any opportunity. When you're backing up one of the premier high school running backs in the country, your touches may be limited, so anytime you get a chance to be in there, you want to impress the coach.
So we'll bring up third down. Lobos need a couple for the first down. And they'll hand off again up the middle. That's Lee one more time. Spins for the first down across the 35 and down to the 33-yard line. And I know it's a tired Bronco defense, but a fresh Jonathan Lee is making the most of his opportunity.
Now, what's that little button you guys that are gamers have that can make you spin in traffic?
Oh, it depends on the system.
Okay.
A button.
A button.
Circle button.
I don't know, but that time somebody hit the button, and it looks like we're going to get the backup quarterback, Andrew Tutt, in for his first duty tonight.
And that will be the end of the night you would expect for Jordan Allen, and what an opening to the 2022 season. Allen's just impressive tonight. And we got a flag down before we get going. I think they may have taken a little too long.
Well, no, I think right guard actually bobbled. You got a new quarterback in there, different cadence, and so no surprise, a little jittery on the offensive line play.
So they'll stop the clock with 4:56 left here in the game. 36-10. Lobos with the lead.
If we sound to you like we're very sterile sounding right now, it's because we are in what used to be a gift shop here at this magnificent stadium, but now it's a place for us to hide out on a rainy night.
Yeah.
Frank is giving Chuck some
giving
instructions.
He's giving me signals. I don't know what that means.
Tutt brings him to the huddle. He'll walk him up to the line. No hurry here. Clock is running.
And off again, and this time not much. Fourth time in a row, the Broncos are on top of it, and so there's little or no gain. It'll bring up second down and 10. But opportunities here for some backup guys. Jonathan Lee getting another carry.
I think it's actually 2nd and 14. They had the, I guess they got a penalty there.
I guess they did.
Once again, we're doing best we can under the conditions. We've moved indoors, and we're so fortunate that Frank and his crew have done such an outstanding job tonight. Ethan Harrison checking in for the Lobos, getting some duty here late.
All right, so second down back at the 37-yard line. This time in the air, Tutt throwing. That one's caught out in the flat. Lobos will have it across the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. How about Maki Stewart with his first reception of the season?
Yeah, a little pass we've seen quite a bit tonight when they play soft corner. We've seen Allen take advantage of it. Now we've seen Tutt take advantage of it with the pass to Stewart that time.
All right, so the Lobos will have the ball and around the 27-yard line. It's going to bring up third down. The clock's still rolling. 3:20 left to play here in the game.
3rd and 4. Get some more folks checking into the ball game here.
We'll do our best to try to get them for you if we can see them. Tut with the handoff up the middle, close to a first down, falling forward to near the 22-yard line. That may be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, we didn't get the number that time. I don't know if that's still Lee in there, or if we've got a fresh back in the backfield.
It looked like it may have been Stewart. I think that's Stewart on the carry. We're going to go with it, Stewart.
We got a flag on the far side.
Of course we do.
We got motion on the LOBOS, so they're going to back that up.
All right, so it'll.
It's a little ugly, no surprise. You've got your second unit in on a debut night here in week 0.
After Billy, 3rd down and 9, Lobos, Bronco, 32-yard line.
All right, so the ball's sitting at the 32 after the penalty. Clock stops and restarts, and we're at the 3-minute mark and counting now. 36-10 Lobos. They had a 21-10 halftime lead. It's been a 16-0 shutout here in half number 2.
Steverson checks back in. He's seen a little action tonight.
And he looks like he's going to get the football. He does right up the middle, barrels forward to near the 25-yard line. And on 3rd and 9, they're going to have a 4th down and about 4 coming up.
Interesting to see if they let Fields have an opportunity. Doesn't look like they're going to. So looks like they bring a couple of tight end types into the ball game to probably go to a tight set. Also going to bring Lee back into the ball game. Right now, they just want the clock to run down to 2:15.
Again, the Lobos with the big numbers stat-wise tonight. Longview with 25 first downs, 232 rushing yards, 215 passing yards. Another handoff to Lee. He'll get little or nothing, and they'll turn the ball over on downs, I believe.
But the drive did succeed in what Coach wanted, and that's just to run some clock and get some young guys in there to play. We're going to get some more young guys in, I suspect, on the defensive side of the football.
All right, well, Boyd's going to take the ball over. Clock stops right on the 2-minute mark.
No 2-minute timeout in high school football, just a coincidence there. Can't tell if that's still Shackelford in there or not. Now it looks like got a different quarterback. He's got tall socks. Shackelford had no socks. Or Shackleton, excuse me, ball over his head.
That's Conley Clark, the backup quarterback, and welcome to the game, Mr. Clark. A snap goes over his head all the way back to the about 10-yard line. It's an inauspicious start for Conley Clark coming in as the backup quarterback.
Yeah, not sure if they got the backup center in as well, but that one took flight, and Clark had no chance to go up and get that one.
Becomes one of those team loss things. It's back to.
Well, we got all sides on the Lobos, so it's not going to be a team loss thing.
And here's our one flaw the way we're calling this game for you. And I know you're thinking at home, you guys are a couple of idiots. You can't see what's going on. You're right, we can't see what's going on. So if it's not in our screen, we can't see flags being thrown. So we apologize for that. We're doing our best we can, looking at the screen, trying to call it for you. Conley now at quarterback on 1st down and 5. He's got a handoff and a gain to the 35-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for Boyd. 23 is their backup tailback. That's Datron Dabney.
And Dabney's slow to get up, and he grabs his leg. And so right now we'll have a pause in the action as the managers and training staff run onto the field to bring water to the players, many of them who've just gotten onto the field, so they may not be too thirsty.
Probably not. Like, what are you doing out here? I'm trying to play football.
In fact, Longview decides to bring the defense to the sideline. When you get a bunch of new players on the field and it's week 1, sometimes if you get an opportunity to get everybody over there and make sure everybody's lining up in the right spot, that's a good.
It's a win.
It's a good moment for the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, when you bring in extra bodies and they get in the right spot and you can actually get a couple of plays off without a penalty, you go back to the head coach at the end of the night and go,
yeah, look what we did.
See that second group?
Yeah.
That's me. I'm that guy in the second group. We didn't talk about the offensive coaches for the Lobos because of all that had happened with us losing a full quarter of the game. But how about a little love for Coach Chris Valerie, the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, Oscar Wilson, the running backs coach, Chad Hancock and Spencer Bournes, the offensive line coaches, and David Ashley, the tight end coach. And I skipped on purpose John Ritt, and I believe, isn't that now Dr. John Ritt?
Wow.
I believe he either got his doctorate or he got some big degree here recently.
You should consider touring as Dr. John.
It's possible. It's been done.
Okay.
I don't know. But congratulations to him. Great role model example for student athletes when you watch your coaches as grown men going and continuing their education and getting even more sheepskin. That's impressive stuff, and our congratulations to him.
One coach we did not mention tonight that the Lobos lost last spring, a guy we had a connection with up in Texarkana, Michael Ruth, a buddy of ours who was on the Lobo staff last year, passed away this past spring, and I know there's a lot of folks that will be thinking about Michael during this football season.
No question. And speaking of coaches in Texarkana, Sam Weaver's the new Lobos basketball coach, a guy who coached over at Arkansas High for the last few years up in Texarkana. Looking forward to seeing what he's bringing to the table for the Lobos when basketball season starts.
Folks in Longview very familiar with Texarkana, having scrimmaged them just a week ago. They played last night at AT&T Stadium, lost a tough one 38-33 to Frisco Lone Star here in the Metroplex.
All right, so we're going to try to count down this last 146 if we can actually make it work.
Yeah, if we can keep everybody healthy and keep the penalties to a minimum here late.
All right, so at the 35-yard line, first down and 10, Conley the quarterback. And Lobos look like they may have moved a minute early, or a second early anyway. Handoff inside. Not much going on there for the tailback. And let's see if we got a flag on the play.
Yeah. That's Conley Clark, the senior quarterback who's come in here in relief for the Broncos.
I'll tell you what, they did not flag the Lobos for jumping early. So Dabney got a yard or so. Second down and 9. Minute 12 and counting now here in the fourth.
Looks like the Bronco players are still waiting on the call from the sideline.
Coach Foster, his first game as the head coach, and what do you get? You get the number 1 team in 5A Division I. Handoff inside to Dabney, a little pinball action. He gets up to maybe the 43-yard line. It's going to bring up third down and about 6.
Yeah, when you were discussing in the first half about the previous coach retiring, I wondered if he had made the schedule out before he left and retired, or if that was something he did, or Coach Clark had an opportunity to do.
Foster.
Oh, Foster, excuse
yeah.
me. I got Clark in here.
Yeah. No,
well, Robbie Clark is one of the assistants. I keep getting him confused.
I'm betting he at least had some input. By the way, last score from the Marshall-Tyler game was a 33-19 Marshall lead at the half. And unfortunately, they've messed up terribly the Football Friday score app that for years had been the standard that everybody went to. That thing is so screwed up right now, it's really kind of unreliable. But that'll end this game, it looks like. Lobos walking onto the field. They'll shake hands. John King's record goes to 198-43, ties Royce McAdams, Merrill Green, Steve Van Meter in the wins column for coaches in Texas all time, and he gets off the 500 mark for opening day games as the Lobos now 10-9 in John King's 19 opening game presentations. Lobos 1-0, 36-10 the final score as they beat the McKinney Boyd Broncos, who obviously fall to 0-1.
Yeah, we want to thank Orr Cadillac GMC for bringing us the post-game show as we kind of wrap this thing up this evening. For an opening night, I thought it was pretty impressive.
It was a very impressive show on both sides. The offense looked very good. Jordan Allen was amazing tonight. Jalen Hale was himself. Taylor Tatum looks like in midseason form. And a Boyd team that had a lot of starters that had graduated, and probably not a great measuring stick, but the Lobos answered the bell tonight. And despite the rain and despite the weird conditions, they hung in there. They didn't lose focus after that little bobble they had on one punt. The rest of this game was pretty much true to form. And if you're a Lobo fan, you got to walk away going, that's a pretty good football team we've got in 2022.
Very impressive. The bobble was actually by the one star that probably didn't have as good a game tonight as he would have liked, Willie Nelson, who is highly recruited, making the move from corner to safety this year. Had a couple of INTs that I know he's going to lay in bed tonight and visualize as they slipped away from him, and then had the mishandled punt. But did a great job tackling and doing other things that Willie does so well. Very physical player.
All right, let's recap stats. Taylor Tatum, 17 carries, 146 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jordan Allen, 15 of 21, 207, and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jalen Hale had 7 for 130 and 2 scores. DK Reese, 4 for 48. Lobos win 36-10. We're going to sign off. We're back on the air for you guys next Friday night, back from Lobo Stadium where the Marshall Mavericks are coming in. We'll talk rivalry next week, but this week we're 1-0 and we're the number 1 team in the state, and that ain't going to change. For Tony Kirk, for Frank Sides and the gang, I'm Chuck Zach. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, we apologize for the truncated presentation tonight, but we're all still here, a little wet, but at least not electrocuted. Back next week.